Welcome, everybody, to episode number 8 of Tech Shop Coffee Talk with your hosts, Ross and Bruce.
Hey, Bruce. How you doing?
Sorry, I'm just drinking some coffee there. I'm doing good.
Is that coffee smiling back at you?
It's always smiling back.
There you go. That's a healthy coffee. Hey, glad you can join us tonight. Tonight's episode is number 8, and we're going to shoot the breeze here tonight. We're going to talk a little bit about TechShop, and that's a little bit about what we do in our daily ordeals. And we're also going to talk a little bit about form that is coming up and what, a way for communicating with people and whatnot. And these are some great things that we've got excited lined up for tonight. So grab a cup of coffee, sit down, come join us, and jump in and listen. Don't forget to
like, share, and
subscribe.
That's it. Like, share, and subscribe below. And also, too, now that we're like, share, and subscribe, that you got your fingers moving on the YouTube channel there. If you look down, there's a link. It says Ross's link, and below that, there's a link that says Bruce's link. And either one of those you can click on, and you can order some fine coffee that's very inexpensive coffee, but high quality gourmet coffee at a very reasonable price from either Ross or my website there. Yep. And we don't get paid for what we're doing, but you clicking on those links and ordering some coffee or cocoa or tea or latte or
good
even
stuff.
The tea pick. There's lots of goodies on there. If you order, it will offset our cost and it will change your life.
You bet. So Bruce, tell me a little bit about this week. You had a few things happen up there in the north.
Well,
good and bad.
Monday we had 3 feet of snow.
Oh,
so,
yuck.
Woke up, it was, the week before I actually flew to Toronto for some training, and they're 2 hours difference. So that was a little bit confusing, 2 hours later than here. But on my way back, the day I got back, they changed the flight rules here. And I had a connecting flight. I missed my connecting flight by 2 minutes.
Oh.
And they closed the door on the airplane and said, go away. And I was flying with the same airline, but we won't go there.
And you didn't tell them that you were Bruce.
No, and I said, well, you obviously you haven't seen me on YouTube. I'm famous. Anyway, and I was throwing around names like Ross, but didn't help. So basically, I had to stay in a hotel in that city, get up early the next morning, and leave at 6 in the morning. But that's just life. But
just the wrong accent.
But the day I came back, she started snowing. It started snowing.
Leaves hadn't even changed colors here yet, Bruce.
Well, same with here. They're starting to change color. But so it snowed for 4 days.
Oh.
After 4 days, well, guess what? Monday comes around, and I had to go to work, and it was a little bit of a challenge because it was pretty slippery out there. Like I say, I've been in Canada my whole life. I've been driving for more than 35 years, and so I do understand winter conditions and how to drive. Anyway, so and top it all off. I have a front-wheel drive car that's stick shift, so it's even funner when you drive to work. But when I got almost to work, but I was coming down this one hill, and she was a little bit slippery, so I had to, slowly stop, and my car goes sideways and slides down, but we stop right at the stop line.
Oh, man.
And then this bus. So I'm sitting there looking cool. This bus comes by. He turns. He's looking at me. I'm just waving. Just sitting there waiting till he goes in the 100.
Oh, man. You probably didn't have a chance to have the snowblower ready either, did you?
Oh, no. Well, actually, and then I went to work, and I had to actually take the grass cutter off our little tractor there. We have a Massey Ferguson tractor.
Mm-hmm.
I guess you call it mid-size. And then we put a blade on the back, and then I spent all day moving the snow out of the way so no one gets stuck. So it was a long day.
Oh, the fun things we have to do, the fun things.
Oh yes.
So, we're talking tech shop here a little bit, Bruce. So,
Yes.
one of the things that I use in my business,
Yeah.
um, we call it sequence of operation.
Okay.
And sequence of operation, if you know the sequence of operation, you know what the problem is supposed to be or what it's supposed to be doing. So,
Yep.
you know, and I believe you use a lot of that too. Of yours might be more frequency driven and more things of that nature. But like, we on the things that we deal with furnaces and air conditioners and whatnot,
If it's in
first,
summer mode or winter mode or air, yeah. I
what mode is it in, and then after
yeah.
the mode, then what stage is it in. After what stage is it in, what's the next stage, what's the there's anywhere from 5 to 10 stages, and if you know
Yeah.
where you're at in those stages, you know how to and where to go troubleshoot.
Yes. For me, I'm very dangerous. I'm a general, jack of all trades, master of none. So I'm the first responder, like the fire department. So when I go up to an engineered air unit, I look at it, say, okay, is there power there? Are the belts working? Can I reset the high pressure alarm on the compressors? And then after that, it's like, ooh, it's still not working right. Then I call in someone like with a
Hmm.
lot more
And that's
expertise.
a sequence of operation, even on
Yeah.
a mild scale on as a first responder.
Hmm.
And we use the same thing as the first responder when we show up.
Yeah.
That's the sequence that we use to
Are
decide
are
and
the
determine
coils
what's needed.
clean? Are the air filters clean? Do you have
Yep.
airflow? Yeah. I know the basics, but that's all I know. It's just the basics.
and and one of the strongest things that we use, and this is used in all businesses.
Yeah.
um, and I tell the guys that work for me in this too, when you walk in, the first 5 minutes are you listening to the customer of what is wrong, asking them questions. What's it doing? How's it do it? When does it do it? What
Yeah.
does it do when it does it? What's it sound like? All these details. And once you collect all that information, then you know where to go to and get started, and then you can start your sequence of operation.
Yeah.
Very, very valuable in that, and not only just in the tech world, but very valuable in any industry.
I agree. I agree.
you know and you said that you're a jack of all trades and master of none. I used to have that great phrase back in the day. My father taught me that one. Mine has changed now. I am a jack of all trades and I am master of one.
Yourself.
No, I hold a master's in my business, so
Oh, okay.
i
Oh,
have
wow.
i have earned a
Congratulations.
I've earned that master's, and that's quite an accomplishment.
Yes,
um,
that you're the top of the top.
and people don't realize, to receive a master's in any fashion or form, there's 10,000 hours of study time, of learning, developing the skill, building the relationships, and so on and so forth in that process. So
Yeah.
it's not that saying that people that don't have a master's haven't been there and haven't done that, but they haven't zeroed in on the focus of the final mastering of it.
Yeah.
And it's just you're right there. It's just one step farther, and it's just making the commitment to do so.
The difference between just a normal guy and a master's, you both got 24 hours in a day, but you just push a little bit harder and you get there.
Yep.
That's the secret in a lot of things in life. A lot of people just are content with just being a first year apprentice, you know.
Yep, it
but
is.
but the more you put into it, the more you get out of it. And there are, a lot of benefits to keep getting educated and expanding and learning.
So on your techie world today, Bruce, you had an experience this week of a problem, and
Yeah.
you what came in and you heard something.
Well, actually, um, I had a heating and cooling problem. We actually have a remote control system that monitors quite a few things about our transmitters, and we also monitor the temperature. And because of our snowstorm on Monday, the temperature in the building went to minus 15 Celsius, which is about 22 degrees Fahrenheit or
Brr.
lower, about 15 degrees Fahrenheit. So electronics don't run well at that temperature. They like in the 70s up. So plus 15 up. So we knew there was a problem, but it was really snowing bad, and we weren't. The police were recommending not to travel anywhere on Monday. The roads were that bad. It takes a while to get up the snow plows and move everything, and I don't know about down there, but up here, not everyone is a skilled driver on the road when there's ice. Not everyone can stop sideways at a stop sign. Anyway.
I thought Canadians could do it all in the snow.
Well, some are very skilled, others a lot aren't, but we're not here to talk about, we're here to keep it positive. So what happened was today I went out and finally I actually had to go to 2 different sites, but on the way back I stopped at this one site and I opened it up. I went originally there, I thought I had a heating problem. So I was outside this Atco trailer, it's like a 8 feet by 10 foot trailer.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden I hear the heater turn on. It's shaking the wall. I go, "Ooh, that's not good." So unlock the unit, go inside, and then take it apart. And there's just the little heater's just got a fan and some resistors, and the resistors get hot and blows. So what happened with the fan? It was just hitting the metal thing on the inside. So all I did was I just bent the fins out a bit, so they no longer touch the metal circle around it. It was all good. So then I thought, well, I should go look at the air conditioning unit. It was stuck. We have a summer mode,
Fresh air damper.
Brings in the fresh air and just mixes it with the supply and return air. And then we have a winter mode because we don't want 40 below coming in the building and circulating. What we do is we just take the air from inside the building and circulate. So we call it summer mode, recirculating. So we have a summer mode, winter mode. Anyway, it was stuck in the summer mode. So I undid the little bar on it, and the damper,
the economizer damper. Mm-hmm.
The economizer damper reset itself. But because the temperature outside was colder than
it says,
summer,
I ain't doing that.
I couldn't get it to reopen, so I was stuck because I wanted to test it, make sure, and then adjust it. But no, it was too cold outside, so I have to wait till summer to play that one, or till it gets warmer out. Because anyway, so anyway, and then I was hearing this noise, so I thought, well, I got a flashlight and I was looking at. I have the supply and return air and looking. And boy, those belts were looking kind of rough. So they're about as thick as my pinky, but just almost as thin as my fingernail.
Oh no!
In about 9 places, it was just all these cracks. And I go on both of them. So I said, "Oh!" So I took them off. I made sure we had spare belts. I had spare belts on site. So I take the one apart. Take the belt off easy. Then I try and put the new one on. And it's just too tight. I'm going to squinch my fingers in there or something. So it took me 2 hours
to
adjust this motor and adjust it and loosen the bolts. And so I could just get the belt on it. And then to this one bolt, I undid it all the way. So the motor bent like this. So trying to put it back on, and it's up high. And it took me 2 hours to put that bolt back in and get it going. So I thought, oh no. And then I said, well, I got to do the bottom one too. So the bottom one took me 1 minute.
Oh, isn't that maddening?
I was like, how can that be?
Well, at least the hard one was first, and then the second one was easy.
Well, I think just like the tension on the one up above was just just too tight. The one down below, she was a lot looser. So squeeze it a bit, and it just went on. It was still tight to go around there. I don't know if you've ever squeezed. When you're putting on the pulley, you had your finger on there, and
Yep. Pinch them. Yep.
Well, it didn't happen to me, but I always wear gloves. So, I've never even had my gloves grabbed, but it's like, ooh, that must smart if that ever happened. My fingers don't bend too well there. So, like this.
Oh, that's funny. But there's a good example of what good maintenance does, of just checking your belts once in a while, staying
This
ahead of
is
it.
good maintenance. I checked it. The belts were bad. I replaced them.
Yep, yep.
Maybe I haven't checked them in 3 years, but I checked them and I replaced them.
Uh, Yepers. Well,
Yeah,
back on the tech side there, that's part of what we do and what goes on, and that's
yeah,
part of the fun of the job. It's different every day, and mine, I on my end of it, Bruce, we catch it in
yeah,
all different angles. We see one, maybe 10 different types of units and stuff
yeah.
a week, and everyone's different. Everyone's, but what's
Different problems,
different
different
problems,
age.
different issue. But what's interesting is bottom line, it all comes down to sequence of operation, and all of them have the same basic sequence of operation. Doesn't matter if it's brand A, B, C, or D.
Yeah.
They all follow that same format, and that makes our job easier. And then it's just having the tools to fix it and do the job. So
And I think I wouldn't use the word sequence of operation, but whenever I go, I'm looking at either an FM transmitter, the building. However, I go in to do maintenance, I do go in and say, okay, is it doing this? Is it doing that? Is this there? Is this there? Okay, you know, it's all working. Oh, something's not working. Is it the satellite dish? Is it the receiver? Is it,
so you go through that process of those sequences.
yeah,
Yep.
so I use that from on a very complex digital television system and a simple one, a dish and a transmitter in a small place where there's 10 people listening. So it's all the same, but it's a thinking process. You take a really
It
complex
is. It
system
is.
and you simple it down, and then
Mm-hmm.
from there you can figure it out.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's the
Well,
secret.
so Bruce, let's throw a tidbit in here real quick. We've been at it here for a few minutes. Um, you know, Bruce mentioned earlier, and I'm going to bring it up again. We're not
Yeah,
getting paid to do this. We're here to have fun, and we do get paid by people joining our business, and by people buying our products and whatnot that we're selling. And you can find that information on the links below. But that's how we do this, and we're looking for people like you to help us and join us. Healthy coffee is one of the things that we got, and I seen a great deal today. Does your coffee smile at you? If your coffee smiles at you, you got a healthy coffee. So if your coffee's not smiling at you, um, reach out to Bruce or I, and let's see if we can't get you some coffee that smiles at you. So, but
I was going to talk, Ross. You realize in our field, tradespeople, I know, like I'm a remote transmitter tech,
mhm.
which looks
and
after.
and describe. People don't quite get remote there, Bruce.
So I have some sites that are on mountaintops,
Hmm.
and what we do is we have a signal we receive. Most of our signals are received via satellite, so C-band or KU satellite. Um, and then from there we receive it. So on a 4.5 meter dish, which would be 4.5 meter, 15-foot dish,
Okay.
or bigger. No, 4.5 meters. What's 4.5 times 3 is, what is that? It's been a long day. It's more than 15 feet. Anyway, they're really big dishes, and um, but these are on remote mountaintops where we have cooling systems, because a transmitter, all it does is it generates heat, and then it hooks to a tower. Usually I have 100 to 600-foot tower, and then all the stuff that goes with it. So I go to most of these sites once a year, and usually I'm going there because it's not working. So I'm driving there to figure out what the problem is, try and take enough stuff with me and figure out what the problem is before I get there. And we have a remote control system. We can log in, and it gives us hints what the problem is. So,
Mm-hmm.
but as a remote transmitter tech, I have to do 4x4ing up a mountain road. So I need to have skill sets, know how to cut down trees and be able to jack my tires up and get me unstuck, or winch myself up the hill, or know how to use a cell phone and call a tow truck to pull me down,
Survival
or
skills.
and also this, you may find this kind of rare, Ross, but I have to, three of my sites, I have to watch out for rattlesnakes,
Mm-hmm.
and three of my sites I have to watch out for grizzly bears.
Wow.
So, is it dangerous? Both rattlesnakes and grizzlies don't like people. So I usually, I'm not allowed to carry, we're not open carry here. We're not even closed carry here. We're not allowed to carry guns. So they say, well, why don't you carry bear spray? Or, no, I always carry a knife on me, just a good 4-inch knife that flips open.
Something to
And,
have. Yep.
and I'm always wearing steel-toed work boots. But if a bear attacked me, um, usually I would walk away. I would back away from a bear. But if they do, I've been around a lot of bears. In this industry, I've worked in a lot of remote places, and I've seen lots of bears, but I've never had an incident with bears.
Mm-hmm.
But if I had to,
Go ahead.
but if I had to, you give them space, you walk away. But if they charge you, you have to fight.
Yep.
There's no
Yep.
way around.
Dad always told me as a kid, if you meet a bear, just jam your arm down his throat, grab him by the tail, and he'll turn around and run the other way.
Yeah, but the problem is you got to get close enough. See, there's black bears and then there's grizzlies. Now, someone
Yes.
explained to me. Now you know how they tell the difference between a black bear and a grizzly. So
Uh,
a black bear, if it's chasing you, and if you run up a tree and it climbs up after you, that's a black bear.
that's a black bear. Yep.
But if it's chasing you, you climb up the tree and it
And the
knocks the tree
tree
down,
down, that's a grizzly.
that's a grizzly.
I was in Alaska one year on a Boy Scout trip, and the guy that lived up there, the local bear had marked his territory on
Yeah.
the corner of his cabin,
Yes, that'd be a grizzly.
and it was 12 foot from ground to tip.
Yeah.
That's a big bear.
Those bears, basically like a black bear or a brown bear, you've
Mm-hmm.
got to show them respect.
Yep.
But a grizzly, they're very unpredictable, very angry, very, very dangerous. They're a whole
Mm-hmm.
different level. Like a black bear and a brown bear, even if a brown bear or black bear is angry, they're nothing like a calm grizzly. A
Yep.
grizzly, you want to give that thing a wide berth. They're just very lethal, very dangerous.
Very, very true. Very true. So, Bruce, one of the things we want to do here too is what we're doing in our tech talk is we want to give some value to people.
Yes, sir.
And one of the things I've got tonight on value falls under the word form, and it's used for communicating and
Yeah.
getting to know people and learning about people. And F stands for family and friends, and about reaching and learning about people's, Bruce, it's just me asking you, you know, who's your
Oh,
family?
okay.
Tell me about your family. What are you doing? So on and so
Yeah.
forth.
Yeah.
O is for occupation, and
Yeah.
that's where we ask and talk about our occupation. I'm going to cover a few of those things tonight. R is for recreation.
Yeah.
What do you
Everyone has a hobby.
like to do? What do you like?
Petting grizzlies.
Petting grizzlies, and what do you like best about it? And then M is for motivation, of what motivates you. What do you want to, if money were not an object, what do you want to do? What So that's the form, and if you learn that form and that process, it becomes a very good tool in just standard communications.
And we all need to learn to communicate better with others, and that's where a lot of people break down, is we don't, you know, what I'm hearing from you is, you know, the most people, their most favorite subject to talk about is
Hmm.
themselves.
Themselves. It is. It is.
So and all you have to do is ask them questions, and they'll definitely engage.
just like I'm gonna cover the few here on occupation, Bruce, and I'm just gonna throw them at you.
Okay.
Um, and answer them how you want, but just to give an example to people of how this works.
Okay.
And there's questions in each level of form. Uh, you know, what are you currently doing for work, Bruce?
I'm currently a remote transmitter technician,
Hmm.
actually technologist, but
And what do you like best about what you do?
my boss is 3 hours away.
So you don't have to see him on
I'm
a
not.
regular,
I'm not micromanaged.
and he's not running his thumb around on you.
No,
And
and
that's a plus to your job.
when I go to a mountaintop, I don't have people saying, "You should have been there 3 minutes ago. Where are you now?" No, if I have to stop for coffee on the way, or get gas, I, I'm I feel like an adult at this company. Let's just say I'm not
Yep,
micromanaged.
yep. And what do you like least about what it is that you do with your remote job?
Monday, we had 3 feet of snow on the ground. It was dark. It was cold outside, and I still had to get up and go to work.
Hmm.
So no matter
Dedication.
what weather it is, you got to go no matter what.
Hmm.
There's only two of us, so we kind of have to be reliable.
So let me ask you, with that, Bruce, do you feel that you're getting paid for the work that you're doing and for the effort of the work that you put in?
Um, we all feel we're worth more than we get paid. I used to get paid a
Amen to
lot
that.
more. I used to get paid a lot more than I do now. So um, uh, I do understand the market here. I do think I'm being underpaid for my services
Hmm.
because I am so skilled. I'm older. Like I'm
Hmm.
in my late 30s ish or 50s ish, but still with my experience, I have 30 years of experience in this field. I think I should be compensated more than I am, but the reality of the market is right now, everyone has that feeling, and I'm
Yep.
just thankful to have a job right now.
Yes, yes, yes. And we'll hit that one in a minute. And with that, Bruce, are you making enough money to be able to do the things that you've dreamed about?
No,
No.
no.
And so that brings us round circle to where we're at. These are the questions, and this is how the questions work. And Bruce, if I can show you a way to make some extra income and help you to reach those dreams, are you interested?
I'd be very open to it, but I'm already connected to this guy Ross in the States, and him and me have already got a plan, and we've connected with this amazing company that's going to change our lives.
And that link is right down
And the
below
link,
here. We can help you.
oh
But
wait, or did we just do a loop there?
but that's
That's so true.
that's just the occupation part of form,
Hmm.
and how that learning those skills, and just you and I just had a simple conversation. I learned about
Yeah,
you. I learned about your business. I learned about what you like to do. I learned about what you don't like to do.
yeah.
And I learned about you and your pains. And now I have information to speak to you about how we can fix those or work towards those.
Yeah.
And these are some valuable tools that work in the sequence of operations. So
So just hit those four points again.
those 4 points is number one, it's the word form. Okay.
Okay, form.
Form.
Yeah,
F is family and friends.
family and friends. Okay.
So we're going to find out about Bruce's family and friends, or Ross's family and friends, or whoever you're speaking with. So, what are they doing? Who are they? Who's the love of their life? So on and so
Mhm.
forth. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, O is for occupation. That's what we just covered. Okay.
Okay.
What do you do for a living? How do you do? What do you like? What do you don't like? Okay.
Yeah.
Then we have recreation. What do you do in your spare time? What do you do for
Yeah.
your hobbies? What do you like to do?
Okay.
What would you do if you had time to do because maybe your job doesn't allow you to do the things that you want to do in recreation? What are the things that you want to do? So I'm finding about the things that Bruce likes to do. And the last one is motivation. What
Okay.
motivates Bruce?
Yeah.
Okay. Some 80% of the population is motivated by coffee in the morning,
Yes.
and not just by one cup. Some are 2, 3, and 4 cups a day,
Yeah.
and that's a motivation.
Yes. Yeah.
Some people, their motivation is getting up and going for a run in the morning, or a ride, or a walk, or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
Um, you know, there are many people that are just they're motivated to go to work. They love their job. They love what they do, even though those few are, excuse me, only a 3 to 10% in the world
Yeah.
factor. This is very
Is,
low.
is it 3 to 10? I thought it's 30%.
Well, but out of those 30% are not all happy going to work.
I see what you're saying. Now, you realize, Ross, I'm a unicorn. I love my job.
And that puts you in what bracket, Bruce? How many people do you realize that at least over 90% of the people are going to work at a job every day because they have to pay bills, not to because they love that job or they like that job or they want that job. They're going to
Well,
that
yeah.
job to pay their bills that they
See,
can't have make enough to pay.
well, now between you and me, I used to make 3 times what I make now. I used to make a lot more money.
Hmm. But you had a lot
So,
more headache with that too.
so I had to, because I'm making less money, I had
Hmm.
to come to terms with a few things and let a few things die in order to be where I am right now, and
Hmm.
still be sane. So
Yes.
the only way to peace is to live within your means.
Hmm.
Spend less than you make.
Yep.
At the end of the month, save some, and then if you have a cushion, if
But
we all started way back when we were little, which we didn't, if we would save, save, so when the hard times come, you would have a cushion.
yep, and 98% of the people don't
Are
have
living
enough,
paycheck to paycheck.
and they don't have enough money at the end of the month, and
In fact,
they're
they're
suffering.
they're they're maxing out their credit cards. They're taking an extra loan, second mortgage on their house or line of credit
And
to live a lifestyle they can't afford.
they're living on what's called bad debt,
Yes,
and they can't get out of it, and the banking system is not allowing them to do it. It's a big vicious circle. So,
and I do agree. What we're doing here can change people's lives. Like if you infuse $500 a month into somebody's life monthly, which means residual,
oh yes,
for, that can be huge and
it's a
change
car
somebody's life.
payment.
That's a
It's
car
a
payment.
it's a rent payment.
That's a judge endorsed payment. No, that you have to pay monthly.
It's a
Yeah,
grocery bill for people in some
yeah.
places, and
Oh, yeah.
that is a major step and a major direction in it. So,
Do you realize? So I work for I work for a radio TV station where we also have a very strong web presence, and they just did a story, and I get most of the news through the website there. In Calgary, that's the city I live in. More than 52% of the people living in Calgary right now are struggling to make rent and food,
yep.
to be able to buy food, monthly food. But here, like Calgary, we have the highest unemployment rate in all of Canada right now.
And that's what I really love about what we're being a part of here, Bruce, because we really have a way that can help so many people change that course, get out of debt, um, make a house payment.
Yeah,
Uh, you can even earn income that is 2, 3, and 4 times what you presently make. It's available to be done. A lot of people are just going to come in and they're going to make that extra 2, 3, 4, $500,000 a month and be happy with it. There's going to be those that come in and double and triple and change their incomes and even walk away from their present jobs. So it's available to everybody, and it's phenomenal, and that's why we're a part of it, and that's why we want to help people do the same.
And if you're
So
looking to, you could join this business venture with me or Ross. And I'm gonna tell you something though. It only costs not. It's very low startup cost. Whereas you do like a big business, a brick and mortar business, like your business, Ross, starting your brick and mortar business with your skill set. What would that cost you? Like
you
hundreds
know
of thousands of dollars.
if well, I can tell you right now, just to go out and purchase a business like mine right now, you're gonna start in the $500,000 range and work your way up, anywhere from 500 to 1.2, 1.3 million to buy that. And same type of a thing if you're buying into a franchise. It's going to cost you $1.5 million just to get into a franchise, to have that type of business. And you don't see much of that anymore because people can't afford that. But
Yeah.
with a very low entry that is cheaper than what most people's monthly um, TV bill is,
Yeah.
you know, you're in this business and you have the ability to operate $1 million business in the process. It's huge, you know.
And there's a few different ways you can make money in this. You can do buy it wholesale, sell retail,
Yep,
and your markup can be whatever you determine it to be.
yep.
The product is that good there. I know there's places in like Colombia. I think someone he was doing like three 300% markup, and just people were
Killing it.
begging for to buy the coffee from him. So
Yeah, and
it's
that's
all
and
in your
that's
mindset.
it
It,
is.
it
It is having a good, healthy mindset. So,
yeah, but
but shoot, Bruce, this has been a great chat this evening.
yes.
Covering the tech and covering the form and good value. Um, I'm I'm hoping that we brought value to everybody tonight. And
One last thing, Ross.
yeah,
In our field, as I was just doing some research, you realize people in trades, the average person in trades is 54 years old. Very few young people are getting
you
into the trades.
you are
Right now,
exactly right.
in the United States, for electricians, there's 108,000. That's 108,000 empty positions right now. They need an extra over 100,000 electricians in the United States right
Hmm.
now.
Yep.
And it's going to just get worse and worse. So, like if you get into trades in about 5-10 years, you could be making more than someone who has a degree sitting beside you in 5-10 years.
Yep. Yep. So
Because
there's
there's just not the trades people just aren't going to be there.
yep. And it's a generational gap. There's a lot of these generations that are coming up, and they they don't see the work ethic. They don't want the work ethics, and they just don't have the skill to go out and do those jobs, and they don't want to. They're afraid of that four-letter word, work. And
Eh,
even in the business that we're doing right now, which is working us out of that same type of a field, we're working. It's
yeah,
work. We're having fun while we work, but it's a different form of work. And
yes.
but it's out there. If the people want to get it, people want to do it, people want to learn it. But it goes back to, like we spoke earlier in the meeting, Bruce. You know, I've stepped to the level and received my master's.
Hmm.
You know
And
that
that took a lot of work.
that master's did not just fall on my lap. I didn't just go to a school and they handed me a piece of paper for a master's. I put
Wait, so you didn't like show up your second day with your brand new Klein tools and say, "Where's my master's paper and where's the coffee? I want to start
no,
making it top the scale right now."
nope. I spent 2 years of Tuesday, Wednesday night classes, four
Wow.
4-hour classes for a 3-month did it for 3 months and off for 3 months for a 2-year time frame. And that was just to specialize in the final details of the masters, yet alone on top of the field experience that I had that went along with that prior to that.
Wow.
And that was just the learning of how to do the calculations, how to read the codes, how to read the information. It was a channeled focus to get that. So,
Yeah.
you sit down and add those hours up, those are 10,000 hours of work and study above general education. I've got a 4-year degree in computer science and a minor in business.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
So
Wow.
that is, my master's is on top of that.
Yeah.
So, not that I'm asking for it, but, think in mind of those people that do have a master's.
Hmm.
Um, great respect to them because they've done hours upon hours of time
Yeah.
because of their journey or their thoughts or their dreams and their wishes to get where they are. There's many people in the trade too,
Yes, sir.
Bruce, and I'm gonna point you out on this. You're one of them. You have spent just as many hours in the trade, doing the
Yeah.
trades, learning the skills. You just
Yes.
haven't gone and completed a final step to give you a master's factor behind it.
We don't have a master's factor in broadcast. Broadcast is such a narrow, weird focus.
Mm-hmm.
That there is some there's different places you can get into a group and get certified. So
There,
it's very
there's
complicated.
different levels of what it is, but
Yeah.
I promise you, none of the levels cover as much as what you do in the field.
No, in fact, when they hire somebody in my field, someone right out of school, it takes them 5 years just so they can go by themselves to a site and fix stuff. But even still, you don't know if they get stuck or what they're going to do if
Mm-hmm.
they meet a bear or there's so much
Well, and
stuff
you know
outside
what?
their factors. Yeah.
We're all there, and even as at a master's level,
Yeah.
I have a host support team above me.
Hmm.
And you know what? I use them. We have skull sessions with them. Um, I bring stuff to them, and they scratch their head, going, no way." And I'm like, "Yeah, you want to come see it?" So
Yeah.
at any level, even at a master's level, you're going to have the challenges and the objections in the process. But
Well, the smart people know where to get the information. Like for me, I work on so many diverse products. One is very complicated. When it breaks, and my colleague isn't around, who's a lot smarter than me, when he's not around,
yep,
I call the manufacturer and I talk to someone on their on call and talk to the expert on that specific device, and that saves me hours banging my head against the wall.
you bet,
So
you bet.
always go to the experts. You save a lot of time.
Reach out to them. Yep, they're there, and make use of them, and don't be afraid to it. So, you know,
And please click on the link below and order some coffee.
yeah, and if you don't, and you're not ready to order coffee, click on the link and find out about what it is and what's going on. Reach out to Bruce. Reach out to myself. Ask questions. We're happy to get you the answers, and we're here to help you. So that's what it's about. Hey, Bruce, we're getting down here. We need to wrap up.
Okay, and I apologize. One of us has an accent, and you'll have to figure that out. Please mention that below in the link there. But
Oh,
thank you, Ross. Thank you very
well,
much
hey,
for
thanks for
being
coming
here.
for episode number 8, and tune back next week, and we will be putting together number 9. So we're getting
Awesome.
better.
Click,
We're getting
share, like,
better,
and subscribe.
and we'll look to see you next week. Until then, phones up, and find my control here, and see you next week.